Thanks for joining us. This is exciting because I am at one of our favorite brands at Devoted here in the DFW area. I am at the offices of Calyan Wax Company. So we're going to talk all about Calyan. We're going to talk to their founder, Jacob Johnson. We're going to look at all the new stuff from Calyan that's going to be available in the Devoted Marketplace. And of course, we're going to talk about how they give back. So let's do it. Come on, join me in here. Hey Jacob.
Hey Brett, how you doing?
I'm good. Hey, thanks for having us out. This is awesome. So you have been here. We're in kind of the southwesternmost part of Arlington, right?
Yes, as southwest as you can. On the other side of the road is Mansfield.
Okay, yeah. So for those of you, Devoted space in the DFW area, you're here in the DFW area, but the DFW area is really big. And so it's awesome that we were able to come down here. You've been in this building, which by the way is beautiful. I mean, it's really, really cool.
Thank you.
You were just telling me you moved in when?
About 2 years ago, actually, to date. It might be the exact date. I don't know.
Really? Okay. Awesome. Congrats.
About 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. That's about the time a pandemic was hitting.
There's something, COVID, something.
Something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right as it was really becoming an issue, we got to move in to this nice, beautiful facility. So it's nice to get people out to see our space. We spend a lot of time on the design, nice and airy and fresh and clean.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad to have you out.
No, it's good to be here. So for those of you that don't know, Calyan Wax Company, really one of the most popular products, popular brands in the Devoted Marketplace. And we are releasing some new scents, some new options, all kinds of new stuff with Calyan. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But Jacob, I want you to take us back, all right? You haven't started, go back to the days when Calyan wasn't here.
Okay, I don't know if I can remember.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. What led you to start Calyan?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I love getting to answer it because it's a little bit different than you might think. So the idea behind Calyan is all centered around a social venture that fights human trafficking.
Okay.
So human trafficking got on my radar back in 2013 in an intangible way through the End It movement. Which is an awareness campaign to let people know, hey, slavery still exists. Yeah. And that's the first step for all of us. We got to be aware of the problem before we can be a part of the solution, right? Yeah. And so that got just my mind turning. Backing up even before that kind of pinnacle moment was just a life always toiling around with different business ideas. Yeah. You can talk to my friends. I've had a lot of kind of silly ones over the years. Yeah. Chocolate dipping and selling Starburst and candy and all sorts of things, but I've always kind of had a business mind. And that mixed in with the hey, I really want to do something about the issue of human trafficking. How can we use business to further that fight? Yeah. And furthermore, I was just thinking of different ways to combat that issue and saw a lot of really incredible nonprofits that are already working tangibly to fight against slavery. Yeah. And so I realized, hey, maybe instead of starting a whole nother nonprofit that's fighting for the same donations and government grants, why don't we create an organization that helps support the current nonprofits, do more of what they're really good at, and support them in a financial way. Yeah. Awareness, but mainly finances. Yeah. And so that all led up to, okay, let's start a give back company that produces a really great product that you'd want to buy and want to have in your home. And then we use some of that revenue to fund strategic anti-trafficking operations. Wow. So what that looks like is 5% on a monthly basis is donated to our trusted nonprofit here in the Metroplex, actually, Traffic 911. Yeah. To date, we've been able to donate over $217,000, which is really exciting. Wow. And the wheel's starting to turn faster. And so you're going to see those dollars add up in a faster way here moving forward. Yeah, well, and thanks to you, that's a cause that we featured a couple months ago in Devoted, and what a great organization they are. Oh, yeah. Learned a ton from them about trafficking, just even here in the Metroplex, that I was like, surely it doesn't happen like that here. Right. But obviously it does. One of the things you brought up, Jacob, which I think is really cool, and that is, businesses give for all kinds of reasons, and those are all really good reasons. Yes. But when we talk about a social enterprise, it's kind of, you epitomize that because you started with, here's a problem I want to solve, and you're like, the best way to solve that problem is through a business versus I have a business and I'm going to give. And so, again, giving of all kinds is great, but I think it's really cool what you did there because it led to that.
But I'm really curious. So you sat there and you're like, well, I'm clear on my cause.
Yes.
And I want to have a
Check.
great product.
Check.
What made you choose candles as your great product?
That is a great question.
I'm assuming you had an extensive background in candle making and all of that.
Formulations, chemistry background.
Right.
It is kind of interesting. I did not grow up in love with candles. I have to admit that. Just honestly, candles, I don't know if I ever thought about them until this venture. But really, it started in just thinking through, okay, what kind of product could we offer at an affordable price? So you don't have to be super affluent to engage in our social mission, take that simple action step. What is something you find in most people's homes already? What's something that we could do the manufacturing in-house so we understand exactly what ingredients are being used, who's making it, how they're being treated, all the ethical and sustainable side of it.
Right.
And let me think of all the other parameters. Those are and something that if we hit the product quality mark, you'd want to buy again and again.
Yeah.
And so candles are consumable. It enhances your space. You always want to have one around. And so that's why I said, you know what, I think candles would be the best product to start with anyways to really fuel this social mission.
That's awesome.
And I have to admit, the other one is the metaphorical ties. With a candle bringing light to a dark world. Human trafficking is very hidden. We don't see it on the surface very much.
Yeah.
And so there's some metaphorical ties that got us excited about candles specifically.
Well, I do love too, you do use the shining light, kind of a metaphor a lot, and it makes all the sense of the world. It's really, really cool. And I love it when I see it on your packaging, your labeling. There's a t-shirt here hanging up that kind of speaks to it. So
bring light.
Yeah, exactly. And so I love that idea. But let's go back though. So you've chosen candles.
Okay, yes.
You've never really made a candle. So how did you figure that out? I mean, here we are, we're in 2022 and you've got this, we're gonna look at it in a minute, this huge manufacturing facility. So obviously you figured something out, but how'd you get to this point?
Man, a lot of pain, trial and error.
Yeah.
I think most people can relate to that. A lot of research, a lot of talking with the experts. Sometimes expert opinion would vary. So it was kind of you got to figure it out on your own at certain times. And we got really smart people. I got a great team here that helps troubleshoot when things go wrong and has helped us scale. It's one thing to make 6 candles, a pot on a kitchen counter. It's another one to make thousands each week.
How long were you at the beginning? How long were you making them at home?
Until 2 years ago.
Okay.
So we were out of my mother's house. I always love to share this story. We took over the entire house and the cabin, shed, garage. There's multiple names for it out back. And we had freight trucks delivering to the neighborhood.
Oh, wow. I bet they loved you.
We somehow, we had a few neighbors come by every once in a while, like, I'm getting out of here as soon as I can. But we're making it work, and my mom was very gracious.
At least it smelled good, right? Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. We smelled good. The space smelled good. The whole house, we actually ended up, after we left, we replaced all the flooring, all the walls, everything, just to help it not smell like candle. Because it's not a bad thing, but it's also not desirable all the time.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it led to you, another scent probably is coming out, which is old garage scent, right? Just so it could smell like that again. But anyway, that one did make the cutting room floor. But I mean, seriously, I have to imagine then you started in 2017? The company started then? But I mean, you're literally in the kitchen pouring. I mean, is that what was happening?
Yes, me and my now wife, she'd help me after she got off of work. But I was just making candles actually in a bedroom. It wasn't in the kitchen. We took over a little bedroom. So imagine the most humble beginning you can. With just melting wax in a pot and fragrance oil and stirring. Back then we had, for some reason, stirred for like 2.5 minutes before you would pour.
Okay.
And made a ton of candles. I got some fun photos that just showed this like complete mess of a room with all these card tables and candles and wax everywhere.
Now, how many people work here, by the way? You took me around a minute ago, and there's quite a few. Yeah,
we're a team of 18 right now.
Wow.
And that's ever growing. A mixture of manufacturing and office, and sales, marketing, everything you think of a small company.
Okay. So you're learning how to make candles. You're making it in your Bob's kitchen or garage, depending on where it was. But what makes Calyan candles special? Like, how did you figure out, oh, this is, because it's not just any other candle. Everyone who experiences your product, it's like, oh, this is kind of cool. So what is different?
All right. So outside of the social mission, we always highlight social mission. We spend the majority of our time talking that. But you also got to have a good product to back it up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get like, hey, I'll definitely support the cause because I care about it, but I want a candle that actually smells up my house and looks beautiful on the shelf or on the table. And so what we've done to differentiate our product outside of the social mission is a combination. So one is a reasonable price.
Yeah.
And so we're not a luxury candle brand. We're also not a cheap candle you'd find at a dollar store. We're kind of right in the middle there.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna spend what you need to get the value that we're creating.
Yeah.
And so affordable. Our design, we care a lot about design. You'll find our products are very minimalist. We do have some color for those that want a fun color pop, but a lot of it's earthy tones, black and whites, traditional colors that are going and design that's going to match a lot of different decor.
Yeah.
So you can safely bring it in your home and you love it and it matches your modern home if you're going for that route. And if you have another design, it still kind of seamlessly fits in there, right? It's not too flamboyant.
Right.
And so our design and then our ingredients. We use 100% soy wax made from soybeans. Our fragrances are a man-made base carrier oil infused with essential oils.
Okay.
So you're getting kind of the best of both worlds. You're getting a candle that smells up a room.
Right.
And you're also getting the benefits of certain essential oils.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about the soy base. Why is that important? Because for most of us that don't know candles like you do, it's like, okay, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? What is that?
It's definitely not a bad thing. To some people, it's like paramount.
Okay.
And to others, as long as it smells good.
Right.
Right. We wanted to go the more natural route. And so soybean, a soy wax made from a soybean is a lot more sustainable than the alternative, which is a paraffin wax, which is a byproduct of oil when it's refined. Wax actually gets extruded from oil.
Yeah.
And that's what's historically been used to make most candles.
Yeah.
And there's other waxes, coconut, beeswax, there's palm wax. We decided to go really simple, 100% soy wax, no additives, just that, oil, and cotton string as our wicks to give you a really simple, minimalist ingredients, but also give you a candle experience that you're going to enjoy.
Yeah. Awesome. Now we mentioned, you mentioned carrier oil, essential oils.
Right.
And I'd never really connected this together. You know, you've mentioned this before. I'm going to say something, you tell me, you say, Brett, no, you're totally wrong there. This is actually how it works.
Yeah.
But like my favorite scent, at least so far, is the cedar and tobacco. Okay.
Yeah.
It smells great. It's awesome. But it's not like you have chunks of cedar and tobacco in there, right? You have somehow found these other essential oils that smell like that, but isn't that. How does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Not all fragrances are made from essential oil.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a tobacco essential oil. I may be wrong, so don't quote me on this.
Surely there could be, right?
Yes.
I played baseball, and there seem to be a lot of tobacco essential oils out there.
Right?
But
yeah,
anyway,
you could make something that's liquid and
Trust
smells
me,
like
you don't
that.
want that in a candle. Yeah.
No, definitely don't want that.
Yeah.
So it really is a combination. You've got the carrier oils. You've got these man-made replicas of other oils.
Okay.
And that's kind of as deep as I can go with it.
Yeah.
Our fragrance house partner is the chemist on that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, each candle does have some essential oil, if that essential oil can be derived, like a lemon or an orange.
Okay.
Other fragrances, and cedarwood is a big one. A lot of our candles have the cedarwood oil. It's a really popular oil, and the cedar tobacco is no exception.
Yeah.
So you really have this kind of combination of a man-made, produced, down to the chemistry level to produce a certain fragrance.
Yeah.
Then you do have some different carrier oils, and then you have essential oils.
Okay.
So it's kind of all three. In certain fragrances, you can do a lot more essential oil. Because those physically exist.
Right.
And then
like
other
lavender,
times,
right?
Like lavender, exactly. Lavender's a good one because it has lavender, has cedarwood, and it has lemon. Essential oils.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Got
So
it.
you really have to have that combination. You can't use 100% essential oil.
Yeah.
It won't combine with the wax. It won't produce a fragrance.
Yeah.
Those essential oils are great to use as aromatherapy. Through diffusers, through roller balls, that kind of thing. But in candles, you've got to introduce some other ingredients. Yeah. And so that's my best understanding of what our fragrance house partners communicated to us.
I got it. Awesome. Very cool. So, so what do you hear from your customers the most? I mean, they keep coming back, they keep ordering. What do they love the most about Calyan?
They love us.
Yeah.
And we're not being
What's not to love?
No, we just care about people really intentionally. And we want to serve the customer really well.
Yeah.
So we consider you a partner with us. You're partnering with us on this grand social mission against trafficking, and we want to make sure you have a really incredible experience.
Yeah.
So we care a lot about the product details, which we've talked about. And then in regards just to our operations, our customer service, we're always eager to help, to fix problems when they do happen, and to be really quick to ship.
Yeah.
And quick to serve you well, however that looks.
Yeah.
And so that's allowed us to really stand apart in a world where they want to, somebody would want to sell you a candle product and never talk to you again.
Right.
We want to we want to hear how you're enjoying the product.
Yeah.
And we want you to come back because you love us, you love the social mission, and you love the product.
Yeah, that's awesome. How'd you come up with the name?
Calyan is a combination of California and my mother's name, Vivian.
Okay.
I combined the start of California and the end of Vivian to make what I thought was a new word, but nothing new exists under the sun. And it is a Native American term for warrior, which is
okay. That's cool.
And then it is a Indian term for prosperity.
Interesting.
Nothing. Those are just byproducts. I had no intention of using that as any metaphorical ties, but it's what I've learned of the word over the years.
Was there significance with California or just?
Oh, yeah. So I guess that kind of begs hey, there's a little more story there. You can't just choose two words. I spent a summer out in California.
Okay.
And there I was inspired to start a chocolate dipping company. Hear me out. We're not going on some crazy tangent. Chocolate dipping company. At that exact time, I also wanted to create a company that helped support my mom, who's a single mom and is a saint and is wonderful and supported me the whole way through, really through life as well.
Right.
And so,
especially her kitchen and her garage.
And her garage and her entire house.
Yeah, yeah.
She's been incredible.
Yeah.
And a fun fact, she actually works in the company now on the accounting side.
Awesome.
So it's really cool just to see it full circle.
That's
and
great.
be able to support her. So those are some inspirations to it. And
That's
what
so cool.
led to that name. So the chocolate dipping. So I was going to do Calyan chocolate dipping at one point.
Got it.
Still may happen one of these days.
Never know. Yeah.
That faded away. Candle idea came in. Calyan candles flowed really well. Some of the same inspiration. A lot of different events leading up to where we are now.
Yeah.
So that's where you find
Got
Calyan
it.
Wax Co.
Got it. That's awesome. Well, Jacob, Calyan is about 5 years old now. You've gone from a kitchen table to a garage to a really cool facility. You're growing, it sounds like, and you're showing up in all kinds of stores and things like that. What's your vision? At least what you're willing to share. What's your vision for Calyan?
I love getting to talk vision and dream. The grand vision for Calyan is to be funding anti-trafficking operations all over the United States. So you can see when you're buying a candle in Maine or Washington, you can see exactly the operations in your local area that are being funded because of it. And we want to be able to fund a lot of different parts of the solution of human trafficking. Right now, we're more on the restoration side, where we're helping this nonprofit financially be able to care really well for survivors coming out of the trade. And to be that person's person, to build this relationship with them, to allow them to see, hey, somebody does care about you, somebody sees you, and somebody wants to walk with you through the healing journey. And that also helps them from going back to that world, because that happens here and there. There's a lot of psychological ties, trafficker and the person being trafficked.
Right.
And so we're funding that. We're really passionate about that. And we're going to continue to fund that. But we're also going to be funding or wish to fund other areas of solution, more on demand side or preventative side or just counter human trafficking side. So that we're able to fund a more holistic approach to the solution. Because it's a messy issue. There's a lot of different areas that need digged into and that need additional resources. Fun fact. I was talking with a guy yesterday, and the amount of funding that's going in to fight human trafficking versus terrorism, drugs, weapons, all those different criminal activity, human trafficking is a very small portion. And so there is a great need for additional funding to go into this fight as we see this crime continue to grow.
Wow.
So that's the idea, is to continue to grow and fund all over the U.S.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's in talking with your partner at Traffic 911, I know and not to go far down this road, but they were talking about, you mentioned demand, and what that means is people are doing this, they're selling this because there's people who will buy it.
For sure.
Which
Absolutely.
means and so addressing that, right? If you can address the demand, then there's no need to have a supply, right? And so,
and that one's really hard, because now we're talking about the sin nature of man.
Right.
And so that's where local churches and a lot of the faith side of things come in.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we're obviously excited about everything that you're doing with that and through that. And hey, that's what this is all about at Devoted. And obviously, if you shop direct with Calyan as well, you're supporting that with your shopping. And to Jacob's point, it's not just about giving to a cause. It's an amazing product that people love.
Absolutely.
So you're going to shop anyway, and that's what we talk about. Let your shopping shape the world. So that's what we're all about.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. And bring light while you're doing it, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, shine that
Absolutely.
light. Well, let's look at some of these products, shall we?
Absolutely.
Okay,
We're going
to take a tour here and look at a few of your products and dig into it and even share what's new in the Devoted marketplace. Okay, Jacob, we are out here where the magic actually happens, right?
This is the most fun room.
Yeah. This guy obviously looks like he's having a good time.
This is Owen, our wax melter.
Yeah, good to meet you, Owen. Yep.
Say hello, be nice.
Yeah, that's right. So, how do I make a candle? At least how do I do it here at Calyan? Show us.
We'll give you the brief overview here. So Owen is who melts our wax down. So we get it in kind of a flake form, and we will throw this in at the end of the day and have it melt overnight, and it turns into this nice golden liquid. I don't know how good you can see it in there, but just imagine a nice gold hot liquid.
I mean, you put it in there, and that's burning hot. That's like ready to go.
Ready to go wax in the morning.
Got it. In the morning.
It'll melt down.
And then
we go from there. And we'll actually take a quick side step over here. We'll dispense the wax from there into this machine, which is a holding vat for the wax. That's a better look into it. It's kind of yellowy, golden.
Okay, so that's what it looks like. Got it.
That's soy wax when it's melted. It's kind of fun. It dries white, but melts kind of gold.
Got it. Cool. Yeah.
So we'll dispense it into there, and while that is happening, we'll kind of take a quick tour over here on these tables. We've got to prep the jar. Got it. So we've got to label it, and we've got to
what these guys are doing here?
And that's what our awesome production crew's doing.
All right.
So as you see, we're doing some Texas blue bonnets here today. Wonderful. So we'll label it, and we'll wick it, and we'll put a wick holder on it just to make sure those wicks are nice and stationary, exactly where they need to be. And then, at the same time we're prepping our machine, the machine will come roll up here, and it has a wand that'll dispense the right amount of fragrance and oil to the right height in these vessels.
All right. Now, hold on. The ignorant here. So what am I looking at here? So like these red things on top. What's going on there?
Yeah, that's simply just plastic to hold the wick where it needs to go.
Okay.
So you want to have your wicks centered so you have a nice even burn. So that's what we created to make sure that happens.
Are those things on the bottom, are they like sticking to the glass, or is it just heavy and just staying still?
So we call them wick stickers. Okay. And so it's just a sticker pad that holds your, you see that guy down there? He's doing that process exactly.
There we go. Perfect. All right.
And so we'll stick the wicks and then stick the wick in the glass, right?
Got it. Yeah. Perfect.
Super fun. And so they'll be poured, and then they'll cool overnight, and then you'll have, voila, over here, these are candles that have dried and then just need the final processing. So that looks like taking off the wick holder, and then we will clean it and put it in a box.
Wow. Okay.
And send it off to Devoted.
There we go. Awesome. How many can you crank out in a day or a week, or how do you think about it?
So we're right now producing a little over 1,000 a day, and that fluctuates. It's a lot higher in the bigger seasons or as we grow, and it's not much lower.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool.
So this is Calyan production right here.
All right, Jacob, we just magically appeared over here with your just wall of products here.
Voila.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so we're going to dig into this. Now, some people might not know this, but Devoted, we carry a lot of Calyan products.
You do?
Yeah,
it's exciting.
And we love it, but we don't carry all of them. But as of tonight, we carry a whole lot more of them.
Yes.
And so
safely say that.
Yes,
for sure.
And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some of the new products, the new packaging options, things like that. But just overall, some people might be watching and they've never heard of Calyan before.
Right.
And so we have lots of different scents. I want to talk about the different packaging options that we have different scents in. And so I'm looking here. This is, I think, a very popular one with us. This is the black matte, right?
We call it the black matte tumbler.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a glass tumbler that's painted black matte to really match that modern decor, and it's very unisex. So a lot of the fellas out there that don't normally burn candles will burn this candle in their home.
Yeah, absolutely. This one as well as, what do you call this one?
This just the amber jar.
Yeah.
We're really creative with our names.
Yeah.
This is an amber jar with gold lid.
Ooh, nice.
So it's a modern approach to that vintage apothecary style.
Yeah.
Again, very unisex for sure.
Yeah, and very, both of these very giftable. And like you said, one of the things that pointed out, women love your products, but also men like your products too. Like, and as a man, I rarely go out shopping for candles.
What?
I know, but I like these,
Absolutely.
And some of your scents also are very manly. And we're going to talk about some of those in a minute. So that's great.
Absolutely.
And then there's one other one. This was really my introduction. And this is the glass tumbler, right?
Call it clear glass tumbler.
That makes sense.
It's not matte black, it's clear.
Yeah.
And this is really our bread and butter product. It
Yeah.
matches any decor. It's got 2 wicks that just helps it burn super evenly, even if you don't burn it for as long as you should. And is good for kind of your medium-size rooms.
Right.
Bedrooms, smaller living areas.
Right. And then when it burns down, you just throw that away, right?
Yeah, just throw it away, be super wasteful with it.
No way, man.
No way, please don't. So all of our products, these are beautiful pieces of glass. You can definitely use them. This one has a drinking glass. Be sure to wash it out really well with soap and water. Soy wax will wash out with soap and water. It's really nice.
Yep.
The other ones, you can use them whatever you can imagine, you can put in a glass jar. So people use them for planters with little succulents, makeup brushes. Do something with it besides throw it away because it's a good piece of glass.
And I don't know where I heard this, but I heard this one's really good for old fashions. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so there you go.
Old fashions, orange juice in the morning.
Right, yeah. Now one that is new for us at Devoted is this one right here.
Oh,
all right.
yes.
Now what fancy name have you given this one?
So you guessed it, a gold 10, because this is a gold 10.
Makes sense, makes sense.
Makes sense, but it's not just any gold 10.
No.
It's a unique shape, so it's kind of got a little, it kind of blows out at the bottom there. And we really wanted to highlight that a lot of modern decor has your gold accent pieces.
Right.
You see that with door handles, with lamps. And so we wanted to make a candle that also could be an accent piece in your space. That's super modern and fun. And so gold metal 10s, brand new to Devoted, super excited about it.
Yeah, and we've got several scents in this one. You brought up something too, and again, this is, anyway, candles are just as much home decor as they are scent, right? I mean, if not even more so.
Well, fragrance is number one. The candle's got to smell good for sure. But we found is people really want a beautiful accent piece. They don't want an ugly candle sitting in there. They may sacrifice design for fragrance, but we try to give you both.
Yeah.
So you can experience a nice statement piece even when you're not burning it.
Yeah, no, that's great. Something I think we've introduced one or two of these, but this is one, it's a larger tumbler and it is a 3-wick candle, right?
We finally did a 3-wick candle. Popular opinion out there, 3 wicks are best. We wanted to give the Calyan spin on a 3-wick candle. So really we call it the big brother, big sister to our clear glass tumbler. Similar labeling, black and white design. Comes with a nice desk cover here that showcases more about the social mission on the back. And is really great for a little bit larger of a space, of a living space here.
Is that the main reason? Like, why is the 3-wick candle a big deal?
Right?
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. One, the more wicks you have, the more fragrance that it is putting into the air.
Okay.
And so for a larger space, it can do a better job of filling up that space with fragrance.
Got it.
And it also burns really evenly. So you can have it lit. I don't have the exact hours, so I don't want to speak, but you don't have to burn it for four full hours to get it to not tunnel or leave a residue on the outside of it.
Got it.
So it's really a user-friendly product, and it's a little bit bigger. So it's kind of more of a statement piece for your living room coffee table, your dining room set.
Awesome, yeah. Well, and you mentioned too, you talked about the desk cover and different things. You guys do a wonderful job with your labeling and your packaging, and like your use of space, I think is great because you're like, okay, let's tell the story here. There's an opportunity to do that there. And on that note, Jacob, that's what we call a segue in the business. That's a segue.
A segue into a really exciting development here.
Yeah, tell us about this cool little thing.
Yes, so we've updated our clear tumbler packaging. If you've been with us for a long time, the initial packaging on this was a craft box. At the very beginning, fun fact, we actually hand stamped all the ink, all the text on those boxes. It's like 8 different stamps we had to do.
Yeah.
Crazy, but we finally this year decided to update this packaging to really reflect the brand a little bit better.
Yeah.
And so this is nice, natural cream feel to it, and it's in this fun hexagon shape. I think it's a hexagon, 6 sides, right?
Yeah, is that right? Yeah.
And it perfectly fits the candle in there. It's got a cool cutout of our icon.
Oh, wow.
And you see your candle just fits nice and neat in there. Also, we, like you said, when we can share the social mission, we want to.
Yep.
And
this gives you so much more room to do that. Yeah.
Exactly. You'll see information about the exact fragrance, about why this is not your ordinary candle, and about the social mission, of course.
Yeah, it's really smart. It's great. Yeah. By the way, as I'm looking here too, people can follow you guys on Instagram and elsewhere, right? At Calyan Wax Co.
Calyan Wax Co. Absolutely.
Yep. So
we're there.
Do that. Make sure you go do that. Okay. So that's awesome. So those are kind of all the different variations of all kinds of different scents. But I want to talk about the new fragrances that are now available in the Devoted Marketplace. All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So I'm going to start with one. Let's see. Okay. Let's go here.
Yep.
I really want you to give this your best. I mean,
I knew he was going to do this.
They need to smell it through the lens, all right, based off of what you're saying. So one of our new ones here in the Devoted Marketplace is the Fig and Seagrass. Okay, all right.
So Fig and Seagrass, let me just smell it to get my...
Look at that. Look at that.
Wafting it here.
That's good.
So it smells very figgy, very seagrassy.
Wow, you're great.
No, I'm going to steal. And these packaging kind of gives the top 3 notes. So this one we definitely claim sweet fig, of course.
Yeah.
Jasmine and a musk. So it's got 3 different notes there. You got kind of a sweet fig. You've got some floral notes, and then you've got a little bit of earthy note to ground it a little bit, which is the muskier side, the sandalwood and whatnot.
Oh, that's awesome.
So really great spring fragrance.
Yeah. Now my nose hardly works at all. But that's great though. I will say this, I find myself every time that I am talking about your fragrances, one of the first things I always say is, it's not overpowering.
Right.
Like it doesn't, and I don't like a candle that is too strong or like, I feel like I'm going to cough when I walk in the room or anything like that. And I feel like across the board, all Calyan products don't do that. Like it's light, but it's still just, you can distinguish what you're supposed to distinguish. I think that's great.
Absolutely. I'm glad you highlighted that. With soy wax, it performs differently than your standard paraffin candle. And so we definitely want you to smell it, right? It's a candle, and we go to great lengths to make that happen. But we also don't want to give you a headache or to overwhelm. And people find that really attractive about our products. So it's that perfect balance of the amount of fragrance it's introducing.
All right. Here's one I'm loving. And this is Smoking Leather.
Yeah, let me get it.
Smoking Leather. Come on. Yeah, get
I like
that
this.
one. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
I'm not just saying that. This one I actually Fig. It's a good fragrance, but this one personally, really enjoy, and it's brand new this year.
Yeah, it's funny too. My wife and I were just on a trip this last week, and we went into a store that sold a lot of leather goods, and I mean, just walking in the door, it's like, that is the best smell in the world. And this does it, all right? So you can take the store home with that one. So Smoking Leather, now available.
Yes, it's a good combo. It's not just leather, it's got that campfire mixed in with it. So it's a perfect combination of the two, which is really, really delightful.
All right, now some of these that we are launching are kind of, makes sense in the season, right? In spring and summer, and one of those would be Seaside and Citrus. Okay, this one smells great.
This one is super popular, if not the most popular, in late spring through the summer. As you can imagine, Seaside Citrus reminds you of vacation and warm temperatures. And so that's why we even put Seaside in the name, really to give you that feeling of being on vacation, which we all love, in a candle.
Yeah, and it nails it. Like it smells wonderful.
Let's see if we can see the 3 notes here.
I feel like I'm at a beach house in Destin, like smelling that. I'm like, got it, awesome.
You need to take it with you next time you go to your Destin beach house.
There you go.
Seaside Citrus.
That's
Got to do it. It's mandarin, it's verbena, and we say sea mist. Kind of a cleaner, fresher note.
Awesome, cool. Let's keep going. There's more. Just right for spring and summer. This is the Grapefruit and Flora. Okay, there we go.
As if I haven't smelled these enough.
Right,
it's kind of nice. It's kind of fun to still smell.
Yeah.
So Grapefruit Flora, exactly what you'd think here. Grapefruit, it's another just by itself is a really wonderful fragrance. And we want to introduce some floral notes to give it a more spring, seasonal vibe to it, and it's got citrus. Oh yeah, we got 3 details on here. Yeah. Citrus, rose petal, and iris.
Oh, well, excellent.
Yes.
Now here is probably another great one, but I would assume the exact opposite end of the spectrum to a certain degree, and this is desert and agave.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, oh, that's great. It's very light.
Yes.
Yeah.
So desert agave is our take on a rose mixed again with some earthy notes. So many of us love the earthy side of things, and so we don't want to go too florally, but we also want to introduce some floral for those that like the rose fragrance. You're going to like desert agave.
Yeah. I would not have. I smell it now that you've said it. You know, this
so
is like having wine or something, right? It's like, oh yeah.
There is top and bottom and middle notes, just like your wines.
Oh wow.
Other fragrances or tastes.
All right, so I think I'm going through our list here. I think we've covered all but one. And this one, at least for us locals, this one's pretty important. Oh yeah, this is Texas Bluebonnets.
Yes, this is us paying homage to Texas.
Yep.
And our state flower here in Texas. It's extremely floral. So
yeah,
as you can imagine, so definitely I kind of think of a field of flowers in Texas. You don't have to live in Texas to enjoy this. We named it that because we had to, because we're based here in Texas. But we've got people all over that enjoy just a nice, clean, floral note. Yeah. And that's what this Texas Bluebonnet is. It also comes with some unique special edition labeling. So we have 3 different special edition fragrances throughout the year. And you'll definitely get it. We'll be launching those with Devoted, and you'll get to see those as the year progresses. But right now, we've got Texas Bluebonnet, limited edition, limited stock, and this fun special labeling. Yeah,
I got to tell you too, when I moved to Texas, I was 18. I did not know what a bluebonnet was.
Man.
And you know, every state has a state flower, but I don't think any state takes their state flower as seriously as Texas. And you will see people, these things are up for like 3 weeks in the spring.
And we go trample them and take pictures on them.
Yes, and the highways are covered in people taking pictures out there. It's kind of funny. But now I expect it, right? And so it's great. It's awesome. Okay, Jacob. Well, I think we covered all of the new fragrances.
Yes.
We looked at all of the new packaging options. And on top of that, we have everything that we already offered. You know, so things like the Dignity set, which is hugely popular. Oh my gosh. People love that. And then we've got all of our other scents. Apples and bourbon are a very popular one in Devoted World.
Oh yeah.
As well as so many others. So this is awesome. Yeah.
Thanks for doing this.
Of course. And remember, when you buy 1 of these, 2 of these, 10 of these, it is going back and supporting all the causes that Jacob has talked about. And so not only are these great products that smell great, look great, but they do great. Right?
I like that.
Good. You can have that one. That one's on the house.
We say enjoy candles, do good.
Yeah.
We say enjoy candles, do great.
There you go. That's right.
Love it.
Awesome.